Hi, my name is Riyam, and today I'm going to have a very lovely conversation with my childhood best friend Zahraa. We grew up together in the UAE, and now we're working in the same field in real estate. So I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation to listen to as we talk about our experience growing up here, as well as the challenges and misconceptions maybe about the real estate market and the different locations and communities. So Zahraa, welcome. We both have been here in the UAE for almost all our lives.
Yeah.
For you, it's been more than 20 years. Me, it's coming up to 19 years. We've seen it all. But what do you think is, based on, living here all your life, is the most appealing point about being in the UAE and specifically in Dubai?
I think something that's very important to a lot of people is safety. Alhamdulillah, shukr, we are living in one of the safest countries in the world. And when it comes to us being girls and being out at night, even at like 9, 10 p.m., there are places around the world you can't even be out at that time. Absolutely. But here, you don't feel that. You always feel safe. You always feel like there is somebody that will be there for you, that will protect you. I love the fact that we live in a country where everything is open. Even at 12 p.m., we can go to the supermarket and go buy groceries and so on. So that's definitely one of like the top points that people love. Another thing I would say is cleanliness. Like the country is well taken care of, facilities, the amenities, everything around, even going to a public beach. Imagine this in a different country.
No, yes, of course,
Yeah.
I know that. Honestly, there is such an appeal to Dubai that once you're here, you feel like you can't go somewhere else. Like if you've lived here as long as we have, like grown up, we've went to school, to university, and now working in the city, you don't feel like anywhere else will come even close to like the standards, the comfort, everything that this city offers.
Yeah.
I've even had the experience of living abroad for 3 years. And at the end of that period, while I was studying, I was like, no, I want to come back. Like nothing, like when it comes to the comfort, to the safety, to the cleanliness, all of that, you don't find it anywhere else based on personal experience.
100%. I've even met people who came here for a visit. I literally met someone who came here for 2 weeks visit, and she decided, she's a European. She decided to leave her whole life behind and move everything here. She started a job here. She shipped all of her, furniture, all of her stuff to the UAE, and now she's settled here and she loves it.
Yeah.
Because of these points,
Yes, of course. And then added to that, the fact that we're both Arab and we're Muslims.
Yeah.
We're really being here so close and connected to still our cultures, even though we come from a different country, but still, we feel a part of home here.
100%.
Still connected to our roots.
Yeah.
So that's an added bonus. And being a woman, it's like, these days it's hard being a woman anywhere in the world.
Exactly.
That, safety and the comfort and the respect you get that you don't really get anywhere else.
100%.
You have your rights. Like, you're treated as a respected human being here.
Yeah.
So it's really something that can be compared anywhere else.
Definitely. And the diversity, as you mentioned, diversity is a huge thing in the UAE, and tolerance does go a long way here because we're living in a country where you can see Ramadan, Eid, and Easter and Christmas being all celebrated in the same region,
Of course, yes.
That's beautiful. You don't get this emotion anywhere else. Like, we as Muslims, we love to feel the vibes of Ramadan. We love to feel the vibes of Eid with our families. And then our friends who are Europeans, who are Christians, or from different religions even. You have the Sikh temple now. You have a Jewish temple now. There are so many different religions that are being respected and tolerated here. That is not the case in a lot of other countries. And we can see this on the media right now with racism, with the prejudice, with discrimination.
Yes.
But not here.
Not in Dubai. I mean, we can spend hours talking about all the good things about this city and this country, the whole of UAE. But then diverting a little bit off that topic, talking about that, we've been here before Burj Khalifa, before Dubai Mall, before even Dubai's metro. We've seen it all. We've seen the city grow and develop and expand and still going. Like, it's not stopping anytime soon. But based on what you've seen from living here all this time and also now working in the real estate industry, What do you think would be the area to kind of keep, the eyes on attention to look forward in the future?
Yeah, I think the smartest way to look at real estate in basically any country, but specifically in Dubai, would be developing areas. So areas that are still starting out, communities that are still starting out. Obviously, the developer plays a huge role, but then it's the region around it. So let's say we're looking at Dubai South, for example. We're looking at two different extremes today, right? So we can look at Dubai South, Expo City, Palm Jebel Ali, and then coming back to Old Dubai, which is Dubai Islands. So these are both extremes that are beautiful locations. They have their positives. They have, everything has,
Yeah.
advantages and disadvantages.
Yes.
But then the majority is the advantages.
Yeah.
But looking at both of these areas, they're developing areas. Even us as a family, we've invested back in the day in 2004 in, an upcoming community. We took a risk. It was an A'mar community.
Yeah.
And
you
now,
can't go wrong with that, Mark.
Exactly. And this has appreciated almost 300% since that time. We still own the property. We're renting it out. We're getting amazing ROI from it. And it's still growing because the area is still growing. And it's closer to where? Dubai South. It's closer to that area. So that's why it's coming up.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah, Dubai South is a very, very great location. It's still growing.
Yeah.
Some people look at something within the short-term period. They're looking at something to grow their money fast. But if you're looking at something that will go with you into the future,
Yeah.
as you've said, from all this time, and you're still having this property and still growing, still getting you really good ROI and capital appreciation. So, you have to consider growing and upcoming communities.
Yeah.
So definitely Dubai South is the one. And then Expo, I know it's your favorite and it's my favorite.
It's our favorite. Yeah, definitely.
So maybe, you can talk a little bit more about why specifically.
I love talking about Expo.
Yes, I know. So I'm giving you the floor.
Yeah, thanks. I love talking about Expo because there are so many highlights. There's so many major prominent points that I can focus on when it comes to Expo. Yani, I guess the first thing we can talk about is the upcoming airport, right? Al Maktoum International Airport, and one of the biggest, largest in the world. This will
I can only imagine the traffic that's going to bring into the
Exactly.
area, the movement.
Tourism. You have employment rates will go up as having that huge airport. Who's going to be taking care of it, right? So we're looking at an influx of population coming specifically to that area to be closer to this place. Now, that's not all though, because if you're going a bit closer to Expo City is a free zone area, which means you're having big companies, DP World, Siemens, Emirates, headquarters within that city itself, where there is also residential. But then those are the people who will be living in those areas. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong when it comes to short-term rentals or long-term rentals.
Yeah.
And then moving to Dubai Exhibition Center, one of the biggest exhibition centers and only expanding. So everything that's happening in the World Trade Center will be moving and shifting to that area. Now, you already have a metro station there, right? That comes down right at the exhibition center.
Yeah,
and then
right
only one
towards
step
it.
away from the airport. So we're looking at international people coming into the country. Those international people, especially for exhibitions and events, they're going to be wanting to stay here. We worked in COP28 a couple of years ago, right?
Yes.
And it took place in Expo City. How many people had to come into this region right in that area in Dubai South
Yes.
and
you
in
didn't
Expo
feel
City?
any traffic
Not at
or
all.
any
Not at all.
congestion, anything.
all.
And we were daily going using the metro, going there.
Exactly.
It was so easy and comfortable because
Exactly.
it is designed to host that amount, a huge
Comfort,
amount of
exactly.
people, to come to that area. So
Yeah.
of course it's you don't even feel it. And then you
Yeah.
don't forget that concerts. We've attended so many
So many
concerts in
concerts
Expo,
there. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
all that. So you have this sometimes festivals, concerts, and
Yes.
events. So that's a great opportunity for short-term rentals for people who invest
Exactly.
in Expo and they want to put it on short-term rentals. They're gonna be really benefiting from their investment in Expo.
100%. And because it's a developing area, you don't have many commercial or hotels, hospitality, hotels in the area. You have Rove and another one. But that's about it. There is a very limited and scarce amount of units in the area, and that gives you a huge plus as an investor and as someone who wants to live there. Let's say, for example, you've taken a place in Expo City and you want to leave it for a couple of, a lot of my investors come into the country. They want to get a unit where they can live in it and rent it out at the same time. This is a win-win for you because you're getting all the comfort and the amenities and everything that you desire in one location, plus being able to rent it out for a great ROI.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you have all the infrastructure already there. You don't have to wait for it. That's a little bit of an issue with a lot of communities where you have a couple of buildings, but it will take time until the whole community or the parks or the amenities where everything is ready. And then you have at least that noise of the construction. But with Expo, that's already done.
Exactly.
It's already there. You don't have to worry about, noise or about waiting for so long. It's already prepared for you. You just literally take your stuff and go and move it. But anyway, it's still it's such a great place to be. Yeah. And then the lifestyle you have there with it mostly being a very sustainable city. You don't have cars driving around. It's all underground. So it is so comfortable for you, for your family. It's very safe if you have little 100%. Kids. You don't have to worry about cars and all of that, and everything is within a walking distance, or you can take the buggy, which is they're very famous for. It's very convenient and easy to use. Yeah.
And speaking of infrastructure, let's not forget that there is a mall that's already built right next to it by Amar, right? That will be opening up very soon.
So you have all the comfort and convenience all around you. And then with the airport, that also is going to bring me to our next point that we're going to talk about. We have always lived in Sharjah because we've come way before in our families. We live in Sharjah.
We've been established there. Yeah.
Yes. And one of the perks of that was being very close to the airport, to Dubai's international airport, where literally for me, I was living abroad and I would come back to visit my family. It would not take more than 10 to 15 minutes to drive, go from the airport to home. But now you have a similar feel where if you are living in Dubai South, if you're living in Expo City, you're going to be within a 5-10 minutes distance from Al Maktoum Airport.
Exactly.
So that gives you that comfort, whenever, you're landing, you're coming, you're so close to home. You can just be there in minutes. And also for tourists, of course, if they're coming, they want to they've traveled for so long and they don't want to be stuck in a car for more time than they're at their accommodation in just minutes. That's such a great convenience for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And of course we've mentioned the airport bringing so much traffic, so that is something so important when you're living nearby and close. But then also we're gonna go back to the point that a lot of people have an issue currently with the current area around the Dubai International Airport because of, they say it's too crowded, noise. But I don't think that with Dubai South you're going to see that same issue.
I was literally going to mention that, especially when it comes to the airport, because I've had concerns about this. Living close to the airport, we might hear a lot of airplanes. We might, it might cause some kind of noise pollution, but that's not the case. Because of it being one of the largest airports in the world.
It is designed in a way that you have the runways are not very close to any place where it's residential.
Exactly.
And the noise pollution is not going to reach a point where it is uncomfortable.
Yes.
And I've heard a lot of people who are living right now in Mardif and places that are very close to Dubai International Airport where they say it's absolutely not annoying or disturbing because, of course, when they build something like this, they have taken this into consideration.
They've taken the precautions, right?
Yes, nothing in Dubai is being built out of just randomly without actually
using the
planning
right materials as well.
And making sure that everything is, the comfort of people is taken into consideration, and of course the safety of everyone.
Soundproof windows, soundproof walls, all of that play a huge, and that comes also to the smartness and the developers, dedication towards the projects there.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why you have to really know which developer you're investing with and,
Yeah.
take care of,
That's
because
on another episode.
that's something else we're going to
Yeah.
talk about. But also, in general, we see with, for example, MR, wherever they come, they really bring a lot into the area with the infrastructure because they're
100%.
backed
Yeah.
by the government. Expo is backed by the government. They're pumping a lot of money into the infrastructure of the whole city. So that helps with all like the roads, the RTAs, building like so much. And now, as we mentioned, Dubai Islands, you can also talk about the roads and the bridges and everything to make it so easy that
Need to worry about the
you don't
traffic.
need to worry about the traffic and all those issues that people might, have a little bit of a concern about because it
Yeah.
being more of an older Dubai rather than the new Dubai and being a
Yeah.
little bit more crowded. So if you have any input on that, you can add on this.
Yes, I wanted to add one more point regarding the government funded. Keep in mind that Expo City is actually funded by both Abu Dhabi and Dubai government because Al Dar came in the project, right? So they came into the picture and they've built service department. They're not for sale, but just showing the vision that they have of that area. Even Expo City, I'm sure there's like a beautiful picture of, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid standing in front of the area and then being completely deconstructed and constructed into this beautiful dome in the middle of the Expo
Yeah,
City.
it was so
So exactly. So there's that vision that they have about the country that is going around all over Dubai. So taking us to Dubai Islands, I think Dubai Islands, which a lot of people have a lot of concerns about it because they're thinking that, oh, it's part of old Dubai. It's closer to, a more, let's say, historical areas of Dubai. But I would say it's on the contrary. It's one of the last few waterfront communities in the in the whole city. So
And we know what waterfront means. We've
exactly.
seen everything and
Exactly.
how people really rush into waterfront
Yes.
communities and how much they appreciate and value
Yeah.
and what an impact it makes on whatever investment you've made.
Yeah, not just in Dubai. I think this is a true fact in every country. When anything that has, a water body next to it, it's always appealing for your,
Yeah, because
people.
everyone wants that serene, kind of view.
Exactly,
You wake
exactly.
up, you see the water, the sunrise or the sunset, depending
Exactly.
on where you are. It's like something that we've always wanted, we yearn for. So that's
Exactly.
why it has that, the feeling, the emotions that appeal to it, of course.
Exactly. And when you're looking at areas like Dubai Island, you have to look at what developers are actually taking the time and the money and putting it into this area. When we look at Dubai Islands, I instantly think of Ellington, one of the best, developers there is. Their quality is amazing. They're taking massive plots in that area, building it into beautiful resorts with beach access, with beautiful amenities, pools, and so on. And they're being sold in instances, at some point you
Yeah.
don't even get the chance to get
Of
a
course,
unit,
yeah,
right?
and we know, when we speak of Ellington, it's quality for sure, but then
Yeah.
you also have Imtiaz.
Yes.
And they've been really doing great with Dubai Islands. They've had so many projects, and they
Exactly,
really
yeah.
see the vision and they believe in it. That's why they're they've bought so many plots and they've developed so many great projects there
Yeah.
with really great finishing, interiors, the work outside.
Exactly.
It's really, really a place not to miss because where else are you going to go after that? Yes, now we're talking about Dubai South being the future. But
Exactly.
then once all of that is ready, you are not you're so down
Yeah.
inside the city. You don't have that access to the beach, to the water.
Yeah.
So this is your last chance to grab something that will really appreciate, will really see you into the future in a very, very
100%,
nice way, whether
yeah.
you're looking for yourself. Of course, it would be something very nice if you want to live in it or
Definitely.
for, just as an investment purpose.
Exactly.
And speaking of waterfront is also why, even in Dubai South, there is that opportunity because of closeness to Jabal Ali.
Yes.
And
Palm
then we
Jabal
have
Ali.
Palm Jabal Ali. But then that depends on your budget. What are you looking at? So are you willing to pay like above 18 million, or would you want to invest in Dubai Island where it's like
Exactly.
you're getting it for a fraction of the
You're
price?
getting it for the fraction of the price, and you're getting almost the same quality. You're getting the same amenities. You're getting the same feeling. And at the end of the day, we can't just focus on one area and say, oh, this is the best area there is. That's not الدنيا أذواق, right? People have preferences. It's niche markets everywhere. You can find the right clientele or the right individuals who would want to live in this area or who would want to live in another area. It doesn't, I cannot generalize and say, oh, I'm only going to focus on Dubai South, or I'm only going to focus on Dubai Islands or anywhere in between. There has to be that kind of variety of options for your client also to understand what is going on in Dubai. And everything, like I said, will have its pros and cons. You just have to see what is best for you.
Absolutely.
You know?
You have to just keep an open mind and don't discriminate on an area because of like some rumors or something you heard here and there.
Yeah.
There is really a great selling point everywhere in Dubai.
Exactly.
Because that's how everyone, those developers, they didn't come and put their money in these areas just
They
because.
want to make money as well,
yeah,
right?
They want to make money. So when they're building somewhere, they know that there is a great value in this place. And that's why when you're working with the right investment advisor, your consultant will guide you towards something that will be suiting towards what you're looking for, your needs, what you're looking at in terms of whether it's short-term, long-term kind of investment. And of course, your budget will be kind of a defining factor. But then that's also if you're looking at something that what kind of returns are you looking at? Yeah. So all those points are so important to take into consideration and kind of not look at it as, oh, it's an old area or it's a new area or there's nothing around it right now, or there is a great value everywhere you look.
Exactly.
You just have to look in the right place for you.
Exactly. And even looking right next to Dubai Islands, you have Rashid Mina, right? Rashid Mina Yachts by Amar. Huge master community of low-rise buildings. Beautiful. They've taken that whole area and have elevated it really to becoming this luxury and high-end, living situation. You have also still your yacht places or your yacht parks close by, and then moving into Maritime City where you're having this huge project by Beyond, by Omnihad.
Yes.
Beautiful with the forest, one of the biggest forests in the region, right? In the Middle
you're
East,
having
right?
like a forest right next to the water. It's something incredible you haven't seen anywhere else.
In Dubai.
Only in Dubai.
Only in Dubai. Wow.
Yes, you see everything here, really.
Yeah.
And that was like the whole point of trying to talk about the perks and benefits of everywhere. Basically, anywhere you look around, there's something to really appreciate. We've been here for so long, and there's still so much more to see every day.
100%.
I'm impressed. I'm still like, wow.
Right.
Like,
I'm like, no, maybe I'm not going to be so surprised this time.
No, like really, 20 years and counting, and we're still like, wow, this city continues to impress us. It's because everything from the leadership to the people, everyone is working together towards building something really magnificent and great. And you're never gonna be missing something if you invest anywhere in the city, because you're investing in the future, regardless where you do that. That's been really a great talk with you. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Next time maybe we can tackle about which area to maybe take care of and developers to watch out and be careful, because a lot of misinformation is going around in the market. And unfortunately, not many people know as much as we do being here. We have had that privilege of being here for so long.
Exactly.
So we've seen it all. And some people need to be warned.
And educated for sure. I mean, everybody wants to make it in this world. So in some way, I understand. But we have to always choose the more ethical and moral, path in life. And this has been causing a lot of issues for us as well, just having this misinformation around. And they're so good at it to the point where they're brainwashing the people or the clients, right?
Yeah.
So definitely this is something we have have to talk about. So yeah, thank you so much for today. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Yeah, it was nice.
This is where we can just also redirect our clients instead of just keep repeating the same conversation.
Literally, I have this conversation like 30 times a day, and I love it. I don't mind because I love this country. I love the fact that I was so blessed to be able to, grow up here. Alhamdulillah, shukr, really, really. Of course, we love our home as well, but this is like our second home and always will be. So we're so privileged, we're so blessed, and definitely I can't say anything negative about this place. I'm not biased or anything.
No, people will think like, oh, this is because it's propaganda or something, but I mean, this is how we truly feel, because if you've really grown up here, you'll know what we're talking about. This is not something anyone can feel.
And it's not like we didn't face challenges. We did. There was. And obviously, not everybody in this world is good people. We've met some bad people, on our journey towards here. But regardless of that, I've never felt even an inkling that I want to leave. Maybe in the past when I was younger, but the more I am growing up and the more I'm living here, realize how blessed we are here. Alhamdulillah. So
well, this has been great. Thank you so much. So stay tuned for more conversations.